Welcome back to JML Recording. I'm Joshua Lutz, and this is a very scary video. We're talking today about generative AI music, and the top song right now is a song called Walk the Walk. It's a song about, appropriated human struggles, written by a band called Breaking Rust. Breaking Rust is a fake AI band put together by a guy named Abuire Revaldo Taylor, and we don't really know much about him. He doesn't have a lot of presence online, but what we do know is he's just some dude that generated some songs that immediately reached 35,000 listeners on Spotify. It's a lot of soul for something without a soul.
Been beat down, but I don't stay low.
And that's what the whole song's about. I've been beat down, but I don't stay low. I've got this resilience about me. I walk the walk, I talk the talk. Obviously, AI has no legs and no mouth. It's an appropriated human struggle is what the song is all about. And it's purported to be this country music star. Let's talk about the moral dilemma we're in. My moral dilemma is I don't really have a problem with this. All my musician friends are running to the hills. They're terrified of what's happening with AI, especially investments like this. This is one of 4 rooms in my studio. I've sunk about $500,000 cash. Not just the gear investment, but the construction of this building. This was just a spider's nest with concrete cinder blocks, and I spent about $150,000 in cash to make a recording studio that's built on a CMS system where it's not touching the structure of the building. You could have a heavy metal band in here at 4 a.m, doesn't bother the neighbors. And I spent a lot of money on that. AI is creating music that's triggering that part of your brain that brings you joy, happiness, compassion, empathy to this man's struggle. But Breaking Rust is not a real man, so. But you know what it comes down to? It comes down to the guy that fed the information into the AI program that made this song. So we can't just say that AI just spit the song out. Obviously, this Mr. Taylor created this song by feeding ideas into AI and generated this. There was a puppet master behind the song. It's not like this guy just typed in "make me a country song" and the song came out. He spent a lot of time probably working with AI, leveraging AI to make this song.
Got mud on my jeans, still ready to go. Every scar's a story that I survived.
That kind of bothers me. Every scar is a story that I survived. Meanwhile, in my small town, 15 minutes away from Manhattan, 3 AI data centers just popped up, and some of them are using gas turbines that pollute the air. If you know anything about what Musk is doing in Memphis, Tennessee with his data centers, he said that he's only using 15 of 33 gas turbines, and it turns out 31 of them are running. There's a documentary on YouTube I recommend. People are dying of COPD in Memphis, Tennessee, but they're poor black people, so nobody seems to care. It's a civil rights catastrophe, and nobody's doing anything about it. Nobody seems to care. There's a lot happening with AI that's not good for people, but at the same time, I have a nihilistic approach about a lot of what I do as a creative evaporating seemingly overnight. The biggest thing I'm afraid of is the financial investment. If all of this gear is worthless in the next few years, that would hurt pretty bad. I just spent $1,300 today with Beamish Electronics to repair an Eventide H910. It's actually really cool. It's got its own new power supply, external, which instead of negative 63 dB on the noise floor, it's got negative 79 dB on the noise floor, which is unheard of. I have now the quietest H910 on the planet. And does it even matter? It might matter to my colleagues, but to the masses, it doesn't matter. And they'll use the plugin. And soon AI will just create the music. A cat just died of old age, 18 years old. During the Obama administration, he put the kibosh on stem cell research in fear of what cloning could do to humanity. And a cat that was made in a test tube just died of old age. A lot of people said at the time of cloning that humans will never deconstruct the creative spark that is life that God created when he created life. And then we did it. When I talk to my musician friends about AI decoding the human creative spark, all my friends who are musicians and artists say, it'll never happen. And even if it does, people will not want to consume creative media that was created by robots. They're always going to want to consume real human creativity. And I disagree, because I think human beings are a brilliant, beautiful species, but the masses are stupid and they'll consume whatever gives them instant gratification. If there's a song that's beautiful, they're going to consume it. If there's artwork that's beautiful, they'll consume it. Have you ever heard of Kurzweil keyboards? A lot of people don't know this, but Ray Kurzweil, who invented Kurzweil keyboards, has been the head of AI at Google for 25 years. You can watch some of his TED Talks online. He has a book all about the singularity, and that's where AI intelligence reaches a dead straight line going straight up in its exponential growth. When it goes straight up, that point is called the singularity. He said we were 5 years away. He's now saying we're 2 years away now in 2026. That's terrifying, because what happens when you see artwork that makes you fall to your knees and weep because your brain could never fathom that kind of creativity? That AI will generate music and art and even food recipes that makes you fall to your knees shaking and sobbing because it's more beautiful than a human could ever imagine. What does that mean for your children's world? What does that mean for employment? Honestly, that's a whole nother conversation for another YouTube channel. This YouTube channel is all about creativity, music, engineering, and DIY culture. What does that mean for people like you and me? I think it means we need to stay ahead of the curve. We need to be the ones leveraging AI, leveraging for moral and ethical business practices in the AI field. Things that Elon Musk are doing are extremely unethical. People are dying so you can interface ChatGPT. Because of Elon Musk's role in the government, he created Doge, and then it, of course, fell apart infamously just a few short months later. Meanwhile, tens of thousands of government employees lost their jobs, and people all over the world lost their access to medical resources, and people are dying. It's really unfortunate, but this is the world we live in. There are serious downsides to AI, one of which, the one we're talking about today, obviously, is Breaking Rust, Walk My Walk. The biggest hit song in America right now, AI generated. That's why I had to stop what I was doing in the middle of this studio renovation to make a video about it, because this is kind of insane. And let's read some of the comments on the official audio YouTube page. Skynet Records. That's kind of brilliant. So much soul from something with no soul. Must have been hard to walk that walk with no legs. That's exactly what I just said. Doesn't need to breathe, huh? That's interesting. I also noticed that when I first listened to it, there's no breath in the song. In this track, the vocal does a long 10-15 second take and doesn't take a breath, expelling about 3 times the amount of air power that a human would have in their lungs. Got a beer in my beer and a Chevy in my truck. It's extremely derivative to the country music genre. It's almost borderline cheesy, I'd say. I remember having to breathe from time to time. Clearly, that's why I never went pro. Again, the vocal on this track, it's scary. It doesn't breathe. Here's a guy. I heard this song on the radio last week. Very scary stuff. We sing and dance towards the abyss. That's deep, profound, provocative, and true. Milli Vanilli's Orphan Child. These comments are restoring my faith in humanity. I haven't seen a positive comment yet. Never thought dystopian country would be a charting genre. This is literally Old Town Road.
I'm gonna take my horse through the old town road. I'm gonna ride till I can't no more.
You can kick rocks if you don't like how I talk. I'm gonna keep on talking and walk my walk.
So it's extremely derivative of Little NasX Old Town Road with Billy Ray Cyrus. And that's the thing about AI, right? It's always going to be derivative of human creativity. But according to Ray Kurzweil, it will surpass us post the singularity. I would say it's also derivative of a whole crap ton of other country songs, but I digress. Well, there you have it. And I bet if we asked Breaking Rust, are you going to be back with another song? He'd say, I'll be back. What do you guys think about the top #1 song in America right now, written by AI? This is the first time this has ever happened. All I gotta say, people, is we'll see you on the other side of the glass.